Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video we are continuing our last topic, which was interference. So at the starting already we learned that the wave optics concept was mainly based on Huygens wave theory, and Huygens wave theory says that light is a wave, correct na? So this was experimentally proved by what? This setup. It's called Young's double slit experiment. Okay, Huygens theory's experimental meaning was given, or it was proved by what? This experiment. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, once more I'm telling, this guy, correct na? He gave what? He said light is what? Wave. Light is what? Wave. So this was proved by what? Experiment proved by what? YDAC. That we are learning right now. Okay. Yes. So already we have spoken this small term, that what is a monochromatic light, what is coherent source, right, which has exactly same frequency and what, a same phase or what, constant phase difference, right. Okay, so what we have, how this setup was done, look here. So there was some source, okay, some source of light, and what source is this? What? Monochromatic source. Okay, it's not a white light source, okay, not normal light, it's monochromatic, only one type of radiations. Okay, yes, like your laser is producing what, it produces what? Monochromatic radiations. Okay, so it's a monochromatic source, correct. Here we can use white also. What will happen, we will learn at the end separately, okay, in special case. So generally we use what? Monochromatic light. Then, okay, suppose there is a slit, a small slit, okay, so this is slate. Okay, so this is producing wave front around this, like this. Okay, they are traveling and passing through this source. Okay, so these are your wave front, clear. So this single source now, right now. Okay, so we have another here, so we have two, these are just like wall type of things. Okay, this is like a wall placed in front of what, your source. There is small opening in the wall, so light will come through the small opening, so we call this source 1. Okay, so this source is divided into what? Two source, because we need what? Two coherent source, and already we have learned that two coherent source we have to get only from single source. Two independent sources cannot be coherent, so this is like one source. Okay, now this light what we coming here, these are wave fronts only, right now. So we dividing these two wave front. Okay, so this is now another source we call S1, S2. These are two holes in this wall, suppose. Okay, so this wave front is divided into two, like one wave front will come here, one wave front will come here, right, like that. So what happens now? Okay, like that. So here we have, suppose, a screen. This is what your screen, where you want to get the pattern of the interference, how they will make. Okay, so these two, the radiations or light or waves passing through these two sources, they will what? Interfere. Okay, like this. Watch carefully. They will interfere like this one. Okay, it will continue and they will make some pattern on this this final screen or what? Your wall. Okay, so what happens when we see that when they interfere, there is a pattern formed. That's what? Exactly in middle of this, for this middle. Okay, so here a white fringe is formed. It's called white. Okay, this is called central maxima. When using monochromatic light, okay, first we passing through one single source, then we split into what? Two source. So we get two monochromatic source, then we interfere in this region. So on screen, when we get the result, what we will get? We get alternate bands, alternate like bright white bands we will get. Okay, so the central fringe is always what? White, bright, or white you say bright. So that's called what? Central maxima. Already I discussed with you what I told you, when like constructive interference happens, then we'll get what? A bright fringe, right now, or you say maxima result we will get, and when destructive happening we will get dark fringe or minima result we will get, right. Okay, so central fringe number 0, we call this, always reserved for what? Central maxima. A bright fringe is formed here. This is a bright fringe, always is called what? Central maxima. Then alternatively what? Fringes will form. After this, both side we have dark, then next is what? Bright. Okay, so look here, the next fringe to this will be like dark, so I represent by like this. This is a dark fringe, so this is called first minima, or you call what? Your dark fringe. This is the first dark fringe. On that side also what? Your dark fringe will form. So this fringe will be also your what? Your, you call that first minima. also what, dark. Correct now, on both sides. Now next fringe to them will be what, your bright fringe again. Okay, so next to that on this side, this is your bright. Okay, this also your bright. So this is called first maxima. Central is always maxima, leaving central maxima. Okay, the first maxima is what happening, this one we call it what, bright fringe. Okay, on this side also this is what, your first maxima, that's called what, bright. Clear? Yes. So central fringe is always reserved as what, bright fringe. Okay, it's always a bright fringe. Then either side of this there will be dark fringes, then again next to them what bright fringes. So it goes on. Okay, yes. So large number of fringes will be obtained like this one. Okay, yes. So mainly we are interested here what, that suppose this, we take this reference of the central fringe from here, this point, and some point is given here, then you want to know that whether that will be dark fringe, bright fringe, we want to know this. Okay, so you have to do some calculations here based on what, like we have learned already, when construction happen, when destruction will happen. Okay, okay. So look here. So actually like this screen now, using just a line only, you have to watch like this one, like my hand, this is what your screen, so you're watching from this side. Okay, light is coming, so here on hand you watch bright dark fringes will be formed. Okay, yes. Okay, we will talk that what will width of the fringe and how they are arranged. Okay, we will talk about them. Okay, let's see. First you want that if you take some position here, okay, look, central fringe already knows a bright, but I say some point I give here at some distance from central fringe, then that fringe will be dark or bright, this we want to know. Okay, so we'll do some calculations. Okay, so I'm just redrawing this picture again so that I can do calculations. Look here, I'm doing this much only, this is your source again. Okay, I'm just drawing, these are the splitted into two source, we call that S1, this is called S2. So that distance let's call what, D. Okay, and this is what your screen again. I'm just drawing an easier of this one. Okay, so screen is placed at distance of what, capital D we saying. I'm writing here also in words. What is D? Is a distance between what, your screen, okay, and slits. Correct now? What is here, we have slits, right? Or you say source also them. Okay, source S1, source S2, or slit S1, slit S2. Okay, yes. So distance is called what, is called screen distance D. Okay, then the small d that I wrote. Okay, small d is what, distance between what, slits, distance between what, two slits or two source, S1 and S2, that distance. Okay, let's draw a line from middle. So at this point, you know what, central maxima will be formed, right? This is your central maxima. I'm writing what, CM, to understand. Okay, yes. Okay, now apart from this, already I discussed like slit width also we write W, so we will write this color what, slit width. Okay, this word will not come in this calculation, still I am writing to understand. Okay, slit width, very small, very fine opening we have. So what we are interested now, okay, we are interested, I give a general point here. So what, this is the point, let's call it P point, some name, and let's distance of that from central bright fringe is what, you can give some X, that's the distance. You want to know that fringe is bright or dark, or like I call this as nth fringe. Some nth fringe is formed there, maybe dark, maybe bright, we don't know. Then what is the distance of that nth fringe? I say like what is the distance of 10th bright fringe, what distance of 10th dark fringe, okay, anything. So we want to calculate that. Okay, so let's draw some geometrical thing. Suppose one radiation that coming from this source will come to that like this way, let draw. Okay, this one, and one radiation coming from here, one wave coming from here like that. Okay, they are meeting here. So there is a phase difference here, right? You know that why this central fringe is always bright, because there is no phase difference. Look here, the distance from source S1, that distance, and distance from source S2 is exactly same. the distance of this point, central point, which is exactly middle of these two, the distance from here and here is same, so your path difference is what? 0. When you know that path difference 0, what happens? Maxima is happening, right? Constructive interference happens. So this central fringe is always what? Bright, because what? Equal distance, here no path difference at all. Okay, so we are interested in calculating that, like if you have a bright fringe or dark fringe, then what is the distance of that fringe? Okay, so let's write first. I'm writing first distance of nth, say, bright fringe first. You want to calculate what is the distance of what? Nth bright fringe. What is the distance of 10th bright fringe from the central maxima? All calculation we will do with respect to our central maxima. Okay. So look here. If you see in this geometry, let me complete this. Okay. So this one line, what? S1 to P, one is what? S2 to P. Okay. So there is a what? Path difference between these two waves. If we can calculate path difference, means we can calculate what? Conditions of what? Your bright and dark, because bright means maxima or constructive interference, dark means what? Minima or what? Destructive interference. So first thing we are interested in calculating what? Path difference. Okay. What is path difference? Look here. This is a one wave. Okay. S1P, we calling this one wave, that we calling what? S2P. We want to calculate path difference between them, means difference in their wavelengths. Okay, that length and that length difference. Suppose you draw a perpendicular line from here like this one, correct? Then this is what your extra. Let's call that as what? Your del x. Clear? So if you see, path difference is what? Look here. Okay, before I'm writing this, look here, before writing the condition, let's calculate first what is path difference in this case. Okay, path difference is what? Path difference del x is simply equal to what? Look here, the difference between this length and that length, what? S2P minus S1P. This is your path difference. That okay? Yes. So we want to calculate this actually del x. Okay, in terms of this given thing, like what? Your distance between slates, distance of the screen, and that xn. Correct? Okay. So look here. Suppose this angle is what? Theta. Okay, this angle theta. If I draw a line from center here, like that line, not looking good. No, it's okay. Okay, I draw a line. That angle also what? Theta. Can you see geometry? This angle is theta. I am drawing a straight line, perpendicular line to this wave. This is a perpendicular line I have drawn. So there's extra length. Okay, look from here. Let's call that some point. What name you want to call? Q point. This Q point. This QP and S1P will be equal. This is your extra. S2 into Q. S2 to Q. That's what extra. So that we calling what? Your path difference. Okay. So let's see geometry now. Suppose, look here. Look in this big triangle. Which triangle I am talking? This triangle. P, S2, and this point you want to say some name. Let's call P, Q, R, something, anything. Okay. Yes. So we want to calculate the path difference. Del x you want to calculate. One small triangle you have here, S1, Q, and what 2. Look here. First let's talk about this small triangle. From small triangle, which triangle? S1, Q, and S2. This point, and that one. It's a small triangle. Correct? Okay. So I want to know what is sine theta in this triangle. Sine theta is what? So if you see carefully in this triangle, what is sine theta in that triangle? Sine theta will be equal to what? This del x by what? D. Correct? Del x by what? D. This is your equation 1. Okay. Then if you see the big triangle, hope you can see big triangle. Which triangle? Let's talk about P and this point, central maxima. Okay, I am not writing R. Suppose the central maxima, give some name O. Okay, and that point, middle point, let's call that what? R. Which triangle I am talking? And triangle P, O, and what? R. Look here once more. This point, central point, and that central point. Correct? So in this triangle, theta you want to calculate tan theta. So let's see what is tan theta in this triangle. Tan theta will be what? Perpendicular base. Perpendicular means what? Your xn distance. Base means what? Your d. So this becomes what? Xn by what? D. Equation 2. Now what happens? These angles are very, very small. right? So already you know that when angle is very small in physics, how you say sin theta is equal to tan theta is also equal to what? Theta. So I'm writing here as angle are small. Your angles are very small, so your tan theta will be equal to what? Sin theta itself, correct? Means you can equate these. This is sin theta and tan theta, but you can equate them. Okay, let's equate them. Then you said that del x by d is equal to what? Xn by what? D. We interested in calculating xn. Xn is equal to what? Look here, what we getting? Del x path difference capital D by what? Small d. This is the main relation we are looking. Okay. Now we will write that what is the distance of bright fringe, what is the distance of what? Dark fringe. Okay, so I'm writing now here. First point, distance of nth bright fringe. So bright fringe, meaning you understood bright fringe. When I say means what? Constructive interference is happening, maxima is happening, right now? Okay, so hope you remember that if you want to get maxima, bright fringe, okay, once more, if you're talking bright fringe means what happening? Constructive interference, right now? Constructive interference, right? And for constructive interference, what should be path difference? What is the path difference for constructive interference? You have learned it should be what? A multiple of its wavelength n times of lambda. In last lecture we have learned this, right? Okay, so in this equation we have to put that value. So distance of nth bright fringe xn will be what? Del x will be putting was n lambda. So what is the answer? N lambda d by d. This is called what? The distance of nth bright fringe from central maxima, correct? N is the name of the fringe. I am asking what is the distance of 10th bright fringe. So 10 wavelength we use there, okay, the distance of the screen and the distance between what? These two opening or two slits or two source, correct? So this is what your distance of what? Nth bright fringe, clear? Same way we will calculate what? Distance of what? Let me write second point here. Distance of nth dark fringe. Dark fringe means you want destructive result, right now? Yes, dark fringe means what you want? Dark fringe means you know what? Destructive interference, right now? Destructive interference you want, okay? Destructive interference means what should be the path difference for destructive interference? We have learned it should be like 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. Hope you remember this. Recently we have learned, right? Yes. So here, look here. You know that in case of like bright, you know that here for your middle fringe, first fringe is what your bright fringe, that we call 0. This is called what? Like this fringe is called 0. That's called first dark. That's first bright, right? Yes. So 0th fringe also what? Your bright only. So here n start from like 0, 1, 2, 3. When I say 0 means what? Is your central maximum, okay? Yes. Okay. So here, look here. This should be your path difference for dark. So this value you have to put here in this place, okay? That's your answer. Distance of nth dark fringe. What is the answer? This value putting. So 2n minus 1. Correct na? Lambda d by what? 2d. That will be your answer. These are what? Linear distances. You will get answer here in centimeter, meter or something, right now, or millimeter. So these are linear distances, finding the what is the distance of that fringe from what? Center maxima. They can ask you angular position also. What they can ask you? Angular. This angular question mainly they don't ask here. They will ask you in what? Diffraction pattern, but they can ask you here also. So look here. I am talking about this bright fringe. Okay. So angular position of nth bright fringe. If you not copied this completely, then this point you will write with this itself, okay? This is a linear distance xn, okay? Angular position you want to find, like this is your point here, correct? What is angle made with here, right? This theta you want to calculate. So in tan theta triangle, look here, this by that one only, tan theta. So look here, this one only. Angular position means theta of nth, right? What is the answer? Look here, in this formula, just d you bring down here, that's your tan theta. Look in this triangle, R, P and O triangle. What is tan theta? This by that, right? Xn by d. So this formula only, Xn, d you bring there. So what is the answer? Xn by what? D. But generally we don't know this. So what we know? This one. lambda d by what? D. This is the angular position. Okay, here answer will be what? In radian. Angular position of the nth bright fringe in what? Radian SI system. Okay, correct. Exactly same way they can ask you angular position of the nth dark fringe. So same, if you want to answer here, angular position of nth dark fringe. Okay, same thing only. So xn by d, that's called your tan theta. So look here, same we're doing here. Okay, as I told you in physics, when angle is very small, sin theta is equal to tan theta is equal to theta itself. So we're writing tan theta, but we're writing just theta itself. Okay, yes. In real, this formula is what? Tan theta, but we're writing tan theta is equal to theta itself because angle is what? Very small. Okay, yes. So same thing will happen. Just d you bring down there. What is the answer? Angular position of what? Nth dark, xn by d. This is one way, but main formula will that one what? 2n minus 1 what? Lambda by what? 2d. This will be the position. Okay, so I wrote here little wrong. Hope you can understand what I wrote wrong. D went down here, so lambda by d. Look here, this is a formula where it went here. Okay, I wrote here one mistake, please correct it. Look at this formula, linear. D I brought down here, so n lambda by d, this is remaining. Okay, yes, okay, this much remaining. So that mistake I did here, now is corrected. Okay, yes. So this is not much important here, linear important, because this angular position will be very important when we talk diffraction pattern. Okay, there are generally 99% question that they ask in terms of all angular position or angular width of the fringe. Okay. So this is first two general question we have done, that how to find the position of the nth bright fringe and nth dark fringe. Okay, so we finding simply the path difference and putting the constructive and destructive conditions, we getting these answers. And you understood that the fringe number 0, which is always called a bright fringe, is called central maxima. Then we, after that we have like first dark, first bright, second dark, second bright, goes on. Okay. Then third question we want to calculate here is what? Fringe width. What's the width of this fringe? Okay, so let's calculate fringe width. We write beta symbol for this also. Fringe width, very important. Yes, fringe width is what? Obviously the width of a fringe. So how we calculate? Like suppose this is a first dark on this side and this is a first dark. You calculate distance between them. That's called what? Your fringe width. Correct, na? So how you want to define this? Distance between two nearest, okay, like same type fringe. You're talking to bright fringe or to what? Dark fringe. Okay, nearest bright fringe or you can say what? Dark fringes also. So suppose you want to calculate what is fringe width here. Look here, how will calculate? Suppose let's talk bright. You want to calculate fringe width. You calculate distance of like 10th fringe. You calculate distance of 10th bright fringe. Then you calculate distance of like 9th bright fringe and subtract these two. You will get what? Your fringe width, right? Yeah. So how will calculating? Suppose you calculate your beta value. I calculate distance of what? Nth bright fringe or dark fringe, doesn't matter. Then you subtract what? N minus 1 fringe. Correct? You calculating distance over like 10th fringe, then you calculating distance of 9th fringe and subtract these two. That becomes what? Your fringe width. So distance of nth fringe and distance of n minus 1 fringe. Or you can do opposite also. You can write like distance of n plus 1th fringe minus distance of what? Nth fringe. That will also work. Okay. So suppose these are talking bright. This is a formula of bright. What is distance of nth bright fringe? This is your formula. You say n lambda d by what? D minus n minus 1 fringe means n minus 1 lambda d by what? D. Okay, so this answer comes how much? D get cancelled, so you're getting what? Simply lambda d by what? D. This is called what? Your fringe width. You write this formula for dark or bright, you will get same answer because fringe, your both dark and bright fringe will have what? Equal widths. Okay, so this is same for what? For what? Dark and bright, as they have equal fringe width. Theoretically also they can ask you sometime. Okay. So in case of interference of YDAC, double slit experiment, the fringes we form, bright and dark, they have what equal width. Width of each fringe is given lambda d by d. What is the width? Lambda d by d. So here also they ask you angular. Angular, look here, linear angular will be everywhere till last of the chapter. Okay. So I am asking now that angular fringe width. I am asking that what is angular fringe width right now. So what happens? Same thing here. This is angular fringe width means, suppose like, let me draw somewhere here. Okay, this is some fringe. Okay, let's talk about this itself. With respect to this, you draw like these two lines. Okay, so that's what your theta that you want to calculate. Suppose some fringe is there. This is your fringe, and this is your opening 1, opening 2. This is your center point. Okay, so I'm saying what is the fringe width? That's what your angular fringe width means. What is the answer? The thickness of this fringe means linear, this one beta, again by d, tan theta. Again we want to calculate tan theta in this triangle. This is what your beta, that's what your d. So beta by d, that's your tan theta, and tan theta is equal to what? Theta again. So what is angular fringe width? Okay, theta, let's write it again. What is the answer? Just d bringing down here, beta by d, or properly what? Lambda by d. This is more correct. This is called what? Your angular fringe width. Angular fringe width. Okay, yes. So three main things which we need is already here: distance of nth bright fringe, distance of what? Nth dark fringe, and what? Fringe width in linear format and all in angular format, right? Okay. So okay, let me clean the board, then I'll tell you some shortcuts like how these are related, fringe width and this distances. Okay, if you watch carefully, look here, n lambda by d. You want to find distance of nth bright fringe. This is one formula. Or if you watch carefully, this part is nothing but what? Fringe width only, that beta, right? So distance of nth bright fringe, you can also write what? N into what? Beta, correct na? If you know fringe width of any, you know the fringe width, right now, suppose 10 centimeter, then what is the distance of fifth bright fringe? 5 into what? Thickness of one fringe, or width of what? One fringe, right? So this you can also write simply n times of the beta. Okay, I will write all this shortcut. Okay, so I will continue with small points about what? This YDAC. Okay, once more, 3 points already you have learned. Once more I am writing them here one by one. So distance of nth bright, I am writing in shortcut. Okay, you have learned what is distance of nth bright fringe. You said n lambda d by what? D. This is what? Linear. If they ask angular theta of nth is what? Just you bring d down here, so you call it what? Lambda, sorry, and lambda by what? D. This is angular position, right? Okay, then distance of what? Nth dark fringe, that also calculated. Xn is what? 2n minus 1 lambda d by 2d. Angular position you want to calculate, same answer, 2n minus 1 lambda by what? 2d. This answer comes in what? Always in radian SI system. Okay, please remember. Yes, then we have calculated what? We calculated, look here. Okay, I'll write next. We calculated what? Fringe width. Fringe width, right? Beta. You wrote was lambda d by d. Then you wrote what? Angular fringe width. So you wrote what? Just d. You sent it down here. You said what? Lambda by what? D. That's your angular fringe width, right? Now look here. This answer. The distance of nth bright fringe is a formula you can write in terms of fringe width. So this much part is simply what? Your fringe width. Correct? Okay, let me write here clearly. So distance was either say n lambda d by d. You can also write simply n times of what? Beta. What is the distance of nth bright fringe, or let's say 10th bright fringe? Simply 10 into the one fringe width. Correct? Lambda d by d is this point what? Fringe width. Same thing you can see here also. Okay, angular, I am writing angular here. So you wrote like angular will be what? N lambda d by d, right now. Okay, so look here, same way. What is the distance of what? Nth dark fringe? This is one way. Then you write in terms of fringe width. Lambda d by d is called fringe width. So what is remaining? 2n minus 1 by 2 into what? Beta. This is what is your distance of what? Nth bright fringe in terms of what? Fringe width. Clear? Okay. Apart from this, what they ask you like this. they ask you like what is the distance between two dark or two bright fringes, right? I say like what is the distance between 10th bright and what 6th bright. Okay, yes, you can calculate, you write just simply this formula. So how you write, look here, let's say distance between, these all are small questions, okay, between like nth, 1th bright and tooth bright. Two bright fringe you're talking, like 10th and what 6th, 15th and what 10th something, okay. What is the distance? You will write this formula, right? Like n1, right? Then write n2 or n2 minus n1, right? So this simply becomes what? That distance becomes what? Like this one I'm writing. You said like x2 minus x1 something. So how much it comes actually, watch carefully. Look here, lambda d and d, this is common, right now. So what you get simply, and look here, n2 minus n1 by what into what? Beta. That's all. You're writing for like n1, then writing for n2 and subtracting them. So lambda d by d is common. That's called your fringe width. So you can write in terms of fringe width like that way. Clear? Yes. Okay. Now some more questions, small questions about this. Okay. What happens now? Small question they ask you, like theory also they ask you, numerical also they ask you. One important question they ask that, suppose this YDSA test we're doing right now, we're doing it what in air, okay. So now same test we do inside a medium. Say like we take the setup inside water and we do the same test. Then they will ask you how this fringe width and distances will be affected. Correct now? Okay. So I'm writing in words. You also write if YDSA is performed in a medium, correct, say of let's say refractive index mu. If YDS is performed inside a medium, okay, we are doing this test inside a medium which has a refractive index of mu. So in last chapter what we have learned that when light goes to medium, its wavelength will be reduced by what? Mu times. So what happens inside medium? What happens? Wavelength in medium is what? Wavelength in air by what? Mu. Yes, this is the main relation. Correct? Yes. When we go inside medium, the wavelength will be reduced as compared to what? Air. By what time? By refractive index time. Okay. So now they can ask you here, like first question they can ask, what happened to fringe width? Right now, this is a fringe width. Look here. So first I'm talking what happened to fringe width if you're doing this test. So fringe width and wavelength are proportional. Look here, I'm writing in words also. Fringe width. When I'm saying only fringe width means always linear. If they're asking angular, they will say angular word, that what happened to angular fringe width. Okay. Yes. So look here. What happened to fringe width? So you see fringe width, beta is directly proportional to what? Wavelength. Correct na? So wavelength reduced by mu times, the fringe width also reduced by mu times. So fringe width inside a medium is what? Fringe width in air by what? Mu. So write carefully that fringe width will be reduced by mu times. Correct? Yes, fringe width will be reduced. Then if you talk about this, like you said that when I am doing test in air, the 10th fringe was at distance of 1 meter. Then when we do this test in medium, then what is the distance of 10th bright fringe again? Right now? So you see here this formula, what will change? Again lambda is what? Reduce. Right? So distance of that 10th bright fringe will be reduced. Fringe becomes what? Their thickness is reduced. So in same distance we occupy more number of fringe obviously, right? If you not understand, look here, suppose initially you say that this is what? 1 meter distance and here some fringes are accumulated. Suppose what you say 5 fringes. Now you go in medium, then same 1 meter you can accumulate what? More number of fringes, because fringe width is reduced. Width of one fringe reduced, so you can accumulate what? More number of fringes, right now. So they can ask you, suppose they said when I am doing test in air in 1 meter view, 1 meter region, okay, I am watching 10 bright fringes. Then same I do inside medium, then you will see more than 10 fringes in the same right, for the same given distance. Okay, so when we go do this test inside a medium, your fringe width will be what? Reduced by what? Mu times. Clear? Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Then what they can ask you? This question, very important question. As I said, this YDSV doing with YDSV doing by what light we are using here? Monochromatic light. Okay, only one color there. Okay, there is light of just one single color. That's called monochromatic. Suppose instead of monochromatic, use a white light. normal light, then what will happen? Okay, so I'm writing here, if a white light is used instead of what, monochromatic, right now. If you use a what, white light, normal light instead of monochromatic light, then what will happen? Colored fringes will be formed. What will happen? Colored fringes will be formed. So what will happen? Colored fringes will be formed. And how they are formed? Look here. In this case also your central fringe will be again bright only, okay, but in either side of your central fringe, colored fringes will be there, okay. And they can ask you an exam also that what's the pattern, which color will be close to the bright fringe. So already like what, red color is nearest to the bright fringe and blue color will be what, the furthest, okay. I can write those words also. In this case what will happen? Central fringe, this will be what, will be bright only, okay, bright, and other fringes apart from the central fringes will be colored, will be what, colored. And color order is what, red color fringes will be close toward your bright, and blue will be what, the farthest, blue, or you can say violet also, okay. Red color fringe will be close to central maxima, okay, central fringe or central maxima, and on either side, right now, on either side, and blue will be what, farthest, okay. Who will be nearest to your bright fringe, central bright fringe? Red color fringes on both sides, okay. Then after that what you will have, the other places like in Vibeke order only, and last will be what, you say violet or blue color, okay. Yes, this is happening when white light is used. Then they ask this question also, suppose we have two sources, right, two monochromatic radiations are coming and interfering to produce some pattern. If like any one of the slit is closed, then only one wave will come. Now one wave alone cannot what, interfere, so no interference pattern is obtained if you close any one of the slit, okay. So this also they can ask you an exam, if any one of the slit is closed, then no interference pattern will be obtained. Correct. If you have closed any one, if you have closed your any one slit of this two slits we have, if you close any one, then no interference pattern will be obtained in this condition, right? Okay, let's see. Then what else we have? Sometimes they say like this one, what happens, two waves are coming from two sources, okay, yes, coherent source and monochromatic light. If you create some additional path difference, okay, I said central is always what, bright, correct. Suppose you create an additional path difference of pi in any one wave, then your central bright becomes now what, dark. It's very important. I'm writing here, I will explain it once more. If an additional phase difference of pi, how much pi is created in any one of the wave, then what will happen after this, your central bright will become dark fringe, okay. Then central maxima, okay, will become a dark fringe. Yes, it will become a dark fringe if you do like this. Clear? Yes, it's very important, you have to remember theoretically, okay. Yes, then they can ask you distance, like if we change small d and capital D, then what happens? Theoretically they have asked in our exam, okay. Say if distance between slits and screen, that we are calling what, capital D, right now. This is change. Suppose this is increase or decrease, any one thing, okay. So if the distance between slits and screen say is increased, if this is increased, then what will happen to, look here, fringe width mainly they ask you, like fringe width. So if there is linear fringe width, you say linear fringe width directly depends upon d. If d is increased, fringe width will increase, but angular fringe width will not change. Correct na? If this is happening, what? If the distance between slit and screen, that's called, is increased, then what will happen? Angular fringe width will not change. What will not change? Angular fringe width. Look here, angular fringe width, no capital D is there, right? But linear fringe width will be increased. Yes, linear fringe width will be increased because your beta is proposed to what? Capital D, right? But what happens? Your fringe width, suppose this much size of fringe, now it's increased like this one, but the intensity is reduced, because intensity is what? Inversely proposed to what? Distance square. Distance increase, the source and screen, the distance between source and screen is increased, the intensity will reduce. So your fringe width will increase, but intensity, okay, will be what? Reduced. This will happen, but intensity will be what? Reduced. Your clarity between the fringe, dark and bright fringe, the clarity will be what? Reduced. Intensity will reduce. Okay. Next point. Here they ask a very important numerical. Yes. How they ask this question? They say like, I use lambda 1 wavelength in this setup, and they give that in some space or some region, or okay, they call it like field of view. Okay, in that region I say this number of fringes. Okay, suppose I am saying once more, if I use lambda 1 wavelength, okay, then I see what 10 fringes in this region. If I use another wavelength, then how many fringes will be seen in the same region, means in the same gap or same distance, how many fringes will be seen. This is exactly similar to what this question only. Like these are the fringes formed in what? Air, right? Then you go in water or some medium, then you say fringe width is reduced in the same gaps. For this distance 1 meter from center, okay, this is central fringe 1 meter, more number of fringes will be there, right now. Exactly same thing happening here also. So this is the question, when you are using different type of wavelength, then what happens? So look here, I am writing here in words. If when lambda 1 is used, suppose you are using lambda 1 wavelength, then you say that n1 number of say bright or dark, and they can say bright bright fringes are seen in the given region, or people call field of vision, these names they will use, okay, in the given space, okay. And when lambda 2 is used and n2 number of bright fringes are seen in same region, right now, then what happens? Anything will be unknown, either wavelength unknown or like n2 is unknown. Okay, so look here, distance given same, this xn is given same. In this distance, initially says when lambda 1 is there and n1 number of fringes are seen. When I use lambda 2, then n2 number of fringes are seen, then how they are related. So look here, this d and d is not changing. X we keeping same, distance from bright fringe we keeping same, that's called like some region or some field of vision, something they say, okay. Yes, so d is same, capital D same, small d same, so what changing? n1 lambda 1 is equal to what? n2 lambda 2, right? Yes, so bright, okay, what is the answer? Simply you can write n1 lambda 1 is equal to what? n2 lambda. This relation you can write and find some unknown. Generally they will ask you n2. Once more, they said I use this 3000 angstrom wavelength, and then in some space or some distance 10 fringes are seen, okay, 10 bright fringes I can see. If I use another wavelength 6000 angstrom, then how many fringes will be seen in the same space? So x remaining same, correct na? So you see n1 lambda 1, they are inversely proportional, so you can write initial n1 lambda 1 is equal to final n2 lambda 2. So you can find the new number of the fringes you can see. And same question now ask for what dark also. Above question, okay, 4 dark fringes, okay, 4 dark. What will change? Dark means your this xn is same, d same, okay. So this is different. 2n minus 1 lambda by 2 is equal to what? Second case. So what is the answer? Like 2n1 minus 1 lambda 1 is equal to what? 2n2 minus 1 lambda 2. So either wavelength or what second time the number of fringes will be unknown to you. You can find it. Okay, so it's not a big thing. Okay. One small GK is like this. This is a very important numerical. I will do all this. Okay. Yes. So look here. One more small point. Sometimes they ask this question like this. We doing this YDS we doing in air or in some medium on earth. Now same setup is taken to what space where g is what 0, right? Acceleration due to gravity is what 0. Then what is shape of this interference pattern look? Okay, fringes shape they ask you. So phrase look what hyperbolic in nature actually. Okay, so I'm writing this. You also can remember if YDAC is performed in space. If we do this what space, then what happens? Shape of fringes will be what? Hyperbolic. In what nature? This type of fringes will form if you're doing the same test what in space. Okay, so here we learned the complete theory about what YDAC. Numerically we have one more point here that we have to learn that when we introduce small sheet, thin sheets to a path of these two waves, then what will happen? So fringe shift will happen. I will do that in separate lecture. And one more small topic is what? The thin films also be there, but that's not much important from exam point of view. I will doing in what next lecture. So I will do now the numerical based on what we have learned. Okay, so 1 2 3 formulas are here, very important, and this also. Okay, and a lot of theory questions are here to ask. Okay, so please note down them nicely, and that's all for this lecture. I will do problems in next lecture. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.